Hello and welcome back to the Scale Electric Schools YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at some ideas for how you can make your own track supports. I had a load of these 10mm bolts lying around that I'd been using on another project, and it got me thinking, could I maybe use them to help support some raised sections of track? Now ideally a 12mm would be ideal because the hole in the bottom of the Scale Electric track is 12mm, but I had to use what I've got, so it did get me thinking that even if I was using a 12mm bolt, I'd still need some way of fastening this down onto my board. So I went away and produced a 3D printed part, two holes in the top so you can screw it straight down onto your board, and then a hole in the bottom, hexagonal shaped, so that the bolts will just slot into there and then sit flush. So it clips in and it'll sit flush on your table, and I can screw that down. For the next part I designed a top piece which will fit inside the holes on the bottom of the track, slightly wider so it spreads that weight, and then the idea of this being that I can take the bolt and start tightening that on. So in its highest setting to its lowest, so I've got some degree of movement there. So I'll just show you how you can use these to set up a crossover piece of track. So I'm just going to take this one down to its lowest setting, like the other three I've got. So that's now down there. So I can take my piece of track, I can put all four of these in, and just to make it, because I'm going to do a crossover here, I'm just going to have the screw hole fittings the same way as the piece of track. So you can see my other piece of track will fit in there perfectly. So if I just turn the whole thing over, there's one piece of track. We can then use the fittings there, and if you need to make any slight adjustments to get it level, we can put our cars on top. Great. However, I did envision a slight other problem, and that was what happens if I haven't got access underneath because maybe the tracks overlap or you've got a slightly different configuration. So it led me to go away and produce this part. Works in exactly the same way. You take your bolts, you can pop it on, but this time I just take one of these out and replace it with this one. Just find the hole underneath there. You can now see from above there that I've got one here supporting where my finger is, and the other one's there. So if you need to spread your track out, you can do it that way as well. Like we said at the start of the video, we'll upload these STL files so anyone can 3D print them. We'll try and get them on Onshape as well in the next few weeks. Thanks again for watching, hope this was helpful.